Now this is a clip of a checkout process. Here, I'll be using the relevant inventory and the schedule of condition to make notes of any changes that have happened between the time of check-in and the time of check-out. I'll then make logical decisions to decide who I think is responsible for these changes. My options will be whether the tenant's responsible, wear and tear for standard or expected use, landlord's responsibility, whether it's part tenant, joint responsibility between the tenant and landlord, or whether it's the tenant but with no charge. This I'd use for leaving small miscellaneous items and things like this. Remember that your decisions can affect the amount the tenant's deposit is returned. So consider your judgment carefully and take plenty of photographs. Okay, so you'd start this the same as you'd start any make, check-in or check-out. You'd state the property address, the date, what type of property it is and the instructing principle. The exterior area that you can see here doesn't belong to the property, so that's not included in the inventory. So we'll start with the exterior of the front door. Now the inventory states that we have a black painted wooden door with obscured glass panel with lead piping, white painted numerals 1 and 5, brush metal letterbox with integral wicks, yell lock and knocker, open hole for chub lock, one painted over chub lock and a low level black mailbox with small lock. That was quite accurate to the inventory. The condition on the inventory states that it's very well in use and heavily weathered, which again is accurate. There is some additional weathering and wear and tear, but that would go down as general wear and tear. Moving on to the front door interior. That all looks quite accurate to the inventory. The only difference I can see is we did have an open letterbox hole here. Now the tenants obviously put some silver duct tape over, probably to exclude the draft. That will go down as tenant's responsibility, but it would be at the landlord's discretion. Moving on to the ceiling. The inventory states white painted and clean, which is still accurate. However, we've got some hanging cobwebs, which I'd put down as the tenant's responsibility. The walls, white painted to high level above picture rail, which is accurate, and the remainder would be beige painted, POD clean on the inventory. We do have various marks and scuffs, particularly mid to low level, which I'd say is fair wear and tear for a 2-year tenancy. Onto the woodwork, the inventory states white painted POD clean. Now I can see a handful of small paint chips and scuffs throughout, but again that's consistent with fair wear and tear. Onto the flooring. Now the inventory states we have a fitted beige short pile carpet which was provided new. As you can see, there's fairly heavy shading and marks and stains throughout. Now the tenant can't be expected to give the carpet back after 2 years in new condition, therefore I'd make the tenant responsible for a steam clean. We've got no windows or window coverings, heating, one wall-mounted white single radiator, comments with CWF in use not tested. That's still accurate. We've got some very small spot marks to the right hand side, consistent with wear and tear. Lighting, a single ceiling pendant with bulb no shade in working order, again still accurate. Switches and plugs, as fitted with white plastic faceplates, intact and paint marked, which is fine. Onto the cupboards, got one integrated with a lower and upper door. The inventory looks accurate here. However, we do have 2 large screws that have been put on the inside of the door here. That will be the tenant's responsibility. And onto the second cupboard. Yep, giving access to the consumer unit and electricity meter. The description's still accurate, however there is some rubbish left in here that the tenant should have removed. Furniture, there is none, so on to the miscellaneous. We have the wall-mounted white plastic Honeywell thermostat. The inventory states well in use and cracked, which is accurate. And you may have spotted earlier I was stood on a short pile beige welcome mat, which is well in use, but that's not shown on the inventory, so that's something that the tenant has left. That'll go down as tenant's responsibility. On into the lounge. The door, white painted POD clean. That's accurate, however we do have some small chips to the edges, particularly to low level. I've put that as wear and tear. And it does say that the handle is very loose and paint marked, which again is accurate, no key seen here. I've also, having opened the door, spotted a rather large chip to the door frame. If the door had been open on doing the entrance hole and you'd seen that, you could equally have put it in the entrance hole notes. However, because I've spotted it now, it's absolutely fine to put it in with the lounge. I'd put that as tenant's responsibility. Okay, onto the ceiling. White painted POD clean, which is fine. Onto the walls. The description I have here is the same as that in the entrance hall, and the condition was POD clean, which is still accurate. However, we do have some light usage marks from mid to low level, which I put down as wear and tear. Woodwork, white painted POD clean. Now, other than the chip that I mentioned earlier, we do have some very small scuffs and chips throughout the skirting, which again will go down as wear and tear. Onto the flooring. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the carpets were provided new, and once again we have some very heavy shading and ingrained marks and stains. So the tenant will still be responsible for the steam clean. However, I can see here something that looks like a burn mark. So what we'd have to do in this situation is wait until after the steam clean and see if this improves any, then reassess from there. Onto the windows. Now the inventory description is accurate. The condition says domestically clean and intact, which is accurate. However, we do have some minor shading, particularly around the sill, with some small usage marks, which I put down as wear and tear. We also have some minor rusting and usage marks to the window furniture, again wear and tear. Onto the window coverings. The inventory states one wall-mounted white plastic curtain rail, but there's no mention of any curtains here. So until we know whether these were left by the tenant or the landlord, we can't apportion responsibility. Onto the heating, one wall-mounted white double radiator, and the comments were CWF in use, not tested. Now I can see various heavy marks and chips, which I'd consider beyond normal wear and tear, therefore I put that down as the tenant's responsibility. However, the rusted pipe you can see at the bottom here, that wouldn't be the tenant's responsibility, that would be the landlord. Lighting, one ceiling pendant with bulb and no shade in working order, which is accurate. Switches and plugs as fitted with white plastic face plates, intact, which is accurate, but I can now see a white plastic virgin media box, which isn't mentioned on the inventory. Now the tenant would have had to have asked the landlord's permission to install that, so I'll make a note of it here and just bring it to the landlord's attention. Electrical none, cupboards none, furniture none, and the miscellaneous simply states that we have a coiled white cable with missing end on the windowsill, which is still here. Onto bedroom 1, your door. Seems as the inventory, however there's a couple of small chips to the exterior and some light usage marks and scuffs to high level interior, which will go down as wear and tear. And the inventory also says we've got some filled white holes to high level, which I can still see. The ceiling white painted POD clean, which is accurate. We've got some paint chipping just around the cupboard to high level there, which I'd say is wear and tear. Now the walls have the same description as we have for the entrance hall and lounge, with the comments POD clean. We do have some minor scuffs and light usage marks from mid to low level, which will be wear and tear. And we also have what looks like some marks left by blue tack, which I put down as the tenant's responsibility. I can also see down by the window here that we have some damp just around the frames. Now, this is something that's normally caused by lack of proper ventilation. However, the tenant should have informed the landlord that this was here during the tenancy, therefore we'll bring it to his attention now. Onto the woodwork, white painted POD clean on the inventory. I'm just going to add in some light usage marks and scuffs due to wear and tear. And the flooring looks to be in very similar condition to that in the entrance hall and lounge. Therefore, I'm going to duplicate my comments and responsibilities here. Onto the windows. Inventory states clean and intact. However, there's some very heavy sticky marks to the top of the frame here, which I put down as tenant's responsibility. I've also got 3 keys seen. I can see one, and there's 2 more just hiding on the windowsill. Window coverings, again, we've got the white plastic wall-mounted curtain rail on the inventory. However, the curtains, I'm going to duplicate my comments from the lounge. Heating, we have a wall-mounted white single radiator. Comments with CWF in use, not tested. We've got various light usage marks, scuffs and shading, which I put down as wear and tear. Lighting, single ceiling pendant with bulb and no shade, in working order, which is accurate. Switches and plugs as fitted with white plastic faceplates intact, which is fine. Electrical none, cupboards, one built in with full length lower door and brass catch. Now it seems that the pull has fallen off or broken here, therefore the catch is now in non-working order. I put that down as tenant's responsibility. And we have one white plastic vent, which is hiding in the corner, one wood batten with 5 double brass hooks, which we can see, one shelf, one hanging rail and 3 brass hooks to interior, all well in use, marked and chipped, which is accurate. There's also some brown paper being left at the bottom here, which should have been removed by the tenant. And the same to the upper cupboard. And the description of the walls here is unpainted, marked and stained, which again is still accurate. And there's no furniture and no miscellaneous, so it's on to the next room. Onto the bathroom. We had a key in the lock for the door, which is still here, and the lock's still in working order. So that's as per inventory. Ceiling white painted, POD clean, which is accurate. However, similar to the entrance hall, we have some hanging cobwebs, which will be the tenant's responsibility. Walls part white painted, POD clean. We now have some light usage marks and hand marks, which would be wear and tear. And the remainder is a white ceramic tile with black tile border, domestically clean and intact. And I can't see any cracks or chips, therefore that's still accurate. Woodwork white painted, POD clean. We've got some very small chips from mid to low level of the door frame, which will be wear and tear. Onto the flooring, beige ceramic tile, domestically clean and intact, which is accurate. Windows, double glazed obscure glass in white UPVC frames with brushed metal handle and one key. Which is fine. There is some light shading to the frame and handle, which I put down to wear and tear. We also have the sill tile to match the walls, domestically clean and intact, which is accurate. No window coverings. Heating, we have a wall mounted chrome ladder radiator, comments would be CWF and use not tested. Again, that's accurate. Lighting, one frosted glass circular fixture in working order, which is fine. Switches and plugs, not applicable. Suite, we have a white metal bath with chrome waste, chrome mixer tap, chrome plug, no chain, chrome shower flex, wall mounted chrome riser rail and shower head. Okay, the bathroom is provided domestically clean, but from what I can see, the tenant could have done a better job. So I put this down as tenant's responsibility for a follow-up clean. The sink, white ceramic with separate chrome hot and cold taps, chrome plug on chain, and chrome waste. Again, tenant's responsibility for a follow-up clean. White ceramic WC with white plastic seat and lid and chrome push button flush. Same comments for cleanliness there. Onto the cupboards, we have one built in under the sink and the description looks the same. Got one rather large spider, which I don't think we need to add in. Miscellaneous, one wall mounted white shower curtain rail, which is fine. We seem to have a white shower curtain that isn't in the inventory, so I'll put a very similar comment to those that I've used for the curtains in the previous rooms. And one high level white plastic vent above the shower, intact, which is fine. Onto the kitchen. Starting with the door, again, the description on the image is accurate, however we've got some quite heavy dust along the top of the door and the door frame, which the tenant should have removed, so that's the tenant's responsibility. Ceiling white painted, POD clean. Again, we've got some hanging cobwebs, which goes down as the tenant's responsibility. Walls part beige painted, POD clean. We've got a few light usage marks throughout, which would be wear and tear. However, we've got 2 pins in the wall that aren't mentioned on the inventory. They'd go down as the tenant's responsibility. And the remainder is a beige stone effect tile, domestically clean and intact. Which is accurate, however we've got some grease and food marks remaining on the tiles around the hob. Now it's provided domestically clean, so this would be the tenant's responsibility. Woodwork, white painted POD, clean. I'm going to add in a few light usage marks due to wear and tear. Flooring is a medium grim fitted wood laminate, provided domestically clean. Now there's heavy debris and dirt throughout the kitchen floor, which will be the tenant's responsibility. There's also a few minor marks and scuffs, but that would be down to wear and tear. Windows, double glazed, set into white UPVC frames. Brush metal handles, integral locks and 2 keys, which is fine. Still domestically clean with some minor shading and wear and tear to the frames and handles. And the sill, domestically clean and intact, which is accurate. No window coverings. And the back door, that's fine. The key's still here. And in working order. Okay. We've just got some mild discoloration to the ceiling here, which is quite normal, so that's wear and tear. Heating, we have a wall-mounted white double radiator, CWF in use not tested, rough holes around the pipes shown on the inventory, which is accurate. Lighting, one ceiling mounted chrome batten with 4 directional spotlights. The inventory states in working order, however we do have 1 bulb out, that would be the tenant's responsibility. Switches and plugs as fitted with white plastic faceplates, intact, which is fine. Units, okay. The units were provided domestically clean. Which is accurate. There's some very mild rubs to the edges of all the shelves, which will be wear and tear. The worktop, shades of black and grey flecked roll top melamine, domestically clean. This is accurate, however there is some dust and debris remaining to the worktop, which will be the tenant's responsibility. Sink. Now the mixer tap on the sink appears to be leaking slightly. This isn't necessarily the tenant's fault, however it is the tenant's responsibility to inform the landlord, so we should bring that to his attention. There's also some limescale remaining around the tap and the tap head, which should have been cleaned, so that would be the tenant's responsibility. Onto the fridge freezer. Now the power is on. We have 2 egg trays, 3 door trays. Oh dear. Now the freezer's been left switched on, and we've got very heavy ice and food remains to the interior of the freezer. Now the freezer should have been defrosted and cleaned by the tenant, which will need doing, so that'll be the tenant's responsibility. Also, the light appears to be in non-working order, which we should bring to the landlord's attention. Onto the hob, provided in domestically clean working order. Which is fine. We do have some very minor scratches, which will be wear and tear. And onto the oven. One stainless steel single electric oven. Now the handle on the door is very loose, but it's not broken, so I just put that down as wear and tear. And it's provided domestically clean, which is accurate. Everything's present as it should be. And the power is on. Okay, onto the dishwasher. Yeah, and the power's on there. That's fine. The washing machine. Now it looks like somebody's tried to remove the sticker down here and not done a brilliant job. I put that down as a tenant's responsibility with no charge, but that'll be at the landlord's discretion. Other than that, we've got some heavy mould to the interior of the soap tray. Again, the kitchen was provided domestically clean, so the tenant should have cleaned in here. That'll be the tenant's responsibility. Electrical, none. Cupboards, none built in. Furniture, none. So we're on to the miscellaneous. The only thing I've got here for the miscellaneous is 2 loose carpet tiles at the back door, well in use, which is fine. Onto the second bedroom. I did have a key for the door on this one, which is fine. The lock's still in working order. Got some light usage marks and minor chips from mid to low level, which will be wear and tear. Ceiling white painted, POD clean, which is accurate. Walls. Again, we've got a similar description to that of the hallway and the previous bedroom. POD clean. Okay, that's fine. Woodwork white painted, POD clean. I'm just going to add in some minor usage marks and scuffs, wear and tear. Moving on to the flooring. Now it's the same as the previous rooms, however this carpet's in very bad condition, which is clearly the tenant's responsibility. Windows. Okay, the external window cleaning isn't always the tenant's responsibility, so we'd have to check the tenancy agreement there. We've also got a large sticky mark on the frame here, that would be the tenant's responsibility. Other than that, the description's still the same. Window coverings, I'm just going to repeat my comments from the previous rooms regarding the curtains. Heating, that's the same as the inventory with a few small spot marks due to wear and tear. Lighting, single ceiling pendants with bulb and no shade in working order, which is accurate. Switches and plugs, as fitted with white plastic faceplates intact. Accurate again. Got no electrical. Cupboards, one built in. that all looks accurate to the inventory. However, we do have 2 sticky marks on the inside of the door, which are probably from removed hooks. That would be the tenant's responsibility. We have no furniture and no miscellaneous listed. Overall, the property has been generally well kept for a 2-year tenancy. Decoratively, no problems noticed. However, the carpeted areas are quite heavily stained and will require steam cleaning at the tenant's expense. Should any marks remain, then further compensation may be required. The schedule of condition at check-in stated that the property was domestically clean throughout. I feel that there are various areas that should have been returned cleaner than they have been, so the landlord would be justified in claiming proportional compensation to bring the cleaning up to standard.